conversation you have to have about abortion.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't shy away from it just by hiding behind your party or hiding behind your labels if we're going to figure out how as a country and as a people we're going to move forward.
Right. And
I agree with that.
Bill Maher has said some insane things over the past few months, especially about Donald Trump, because they're all very brainwashed and he lives absolutely rent-free in all of these woke people's heads like Whoopi Goldberg, Bill Maher, and the rest of them. This one might be the most insane thing that I've heard him say, trying to minimize, the things that happened with the Trump assassination. Byron Donalds is on this show here on Real Time with Bill Maher, with obviously Bill Maher, where they talk about the attempted Trump assassination. And like I said, Bill Maher tries to minimize the attempt on Donald Trump's life and minimize God's impact or, God's part to play in the whole Trump surviving and everything. And Byron Donalds is not going for it. Obviously, Byron Donalds is a pretty, he's a Trump supporter for sure. He was in the running for VP. A lot of people were saying he was going to be the VP. He didn't end up getting it, obviously. But Byron Donalds definitely supports Donald Trump. And for Bill Maher to come on here and try to minimize the attempt on his life and minimize, God's part.
Hey Veracity, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl VeraMoore and I'm back with another reaction video. Today I'm going to be reacting to Justin Reloaded. If you haven't seen any of the reaction to his videos, click the link above. And this is Bill Maher audience turns on him after insane take on Trump assassination. He got destroyed. Let's go, guys.
To play, and the fact that he survived, whether or not it's correct, it's not Bill Maher's place to say. And Byron Donalds absolutely checked him on it. Let's get into this clip here from Real Time with Bill Maher, of Bill Maher and Byron Donalds discussing this Trump assassination situation.
Larry Wilmore and the Republican Congressman from Florida's 19th District, Byron Donalds. Byron, Larry. Well, first of all, you're a religious person. Do you want to have a rebuttal to what I just said on the editorial? I may have taken a shot or two at religion.
Two things. First, you don't have to believe in God to see God's miracle in your life from a believer. Whether you're an atheist, no matter what you believe in, whether I even like you or not, I can recognize the fact that something happened that stayed you away from death or pain or a grave circumstance. I equate it to the hand of God moved on your life. That's the first thing. Second thing, you kind of made it sound like Donald Trump is Thanos, man. Like, nobody's trying to make him into like a demigod. He doesn't have the magical gauntlet, but you do got to recognize the fact that literally, and I talked to him about it, the way he turned his head at the podium, which he typically will do, it was this much. And you have to acknowledge that it's not just luck. I do believe millions of Americans
that's just luck.
God's hand is on.
I think that's the difference between how we see it. But, okay. No, we just see.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
That differently. Some people see, there's this order and everything, and some people see randomness. Right. What about the guy behind him who got shot? Because, I know, but like you say, God, God's not happy with that guy? No, but it's like, how do you justify that? Why did God let,
It's like, whew, good job, Jesus. Wait, what? Jesus? No, there were two. Oh. It wasn't just, there were two. No, never mind. Maybe,
what is God's answer to that? Shit happens, I can't be everywhere? It's just, okay, all right. Let's go.
Although I will have to say,
it's like the abortion thing that you guys, the wonderful discussion, very entertaining. And by the way, I think that's very healthy to see that.
The only thing I'll add to that conversation is that's the conversation you have to have about abortion.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't shy away from it just by hiding behind your party or hiding behind your labels if we're going to figure out how as a country and as a people we're going to move forward.
Right. And
I agree with that.
Notice how the crowd is giving a ton of applause to Byron Donalds and his rebut to what Bill Maher is saying, and not very much applause to Bill Maher. And Bill Maher is actually, you can tell he's visibly disgusted by the applause from his audience there. Let's check this out again.
Just by hiding behind your party or hiding behind your labels if we're going to figure out how as a country and as a people we're going to move forward.
Right. And
I agree with that.
You see the audience applauds Byron Donalds, and obviously Byron Donalds is going against Bill Maher here, and he is visibly disgusted. He rolls his eyes and shakes his head at his own audience because they're siding with his guest. They're not siding with him.
Is the Trump shooter, who has been described as a quiet, lonely kid who was bullied in school, an example of how boys in America are in crisis? Yeah. I think there's been many books about it. Men in crisis. And if you look at the statistics, I mean, there's a lot of information about girls too, that would lead one to believe that young people are in crisis no matter what their gender. But boys especially in this day and age, I think, are living through something I don't think boys ever lived through before. First of all, we live in a kind of an information age. Yeah. What has been the calling card of men for years, brawn, is not valued anymore as much. I mean, there's controversy about the Secret Service people who were guarding Trump, because some people say it shouldn't have been women because they were a foot shorter than him. And so that's not the best if you're trying to block a bullet from getting to the president. And kids like that, I'm not saying he did this for this reason, but they see like, wow, even the jobs we used to be better at, like being taller. We can't even get those jobs anymore. I mean,
Amen.
And I do understand the people who say it's the men's fault. It is for sure. Like, men have become weaker, no doubt about it. Men have become softer, no doubt about it. There's a ton of fat men, out of shape men all over the place. And they're right. But also at the same time, that's because of people like Bill Maher and the woke left, that we're not allowed to acknowledge the fact that men are just better at certain jobs. Men are more, they fit better into certain jobs, doing certain things than women. And women are also better at certain things than men, but we're not allowed to acknowledge the part that men are better at. We're only allowed to acknowledge the part that women are better at. And it's a detriment to a lot of different things, including, the military, the Secret Service, anything that's, physical, that you need physicality for. It's a detriment to those things. And we saw that there in real time. Not only did the woman, duck out of the way initially, but also, whenever she was trying to cover up Donald Trump from future bullets hitting him, she was a foot shorter than him. And it's just, it makes no sense. Why do we have to threaten someone's life, put someone's life at risk like Donald Trump, in order, in the name of diversity, in the name of women can just do whatever men can do? It's just dumb.
Yeah, I think there's a loneliness epidemic happening now, and you've talked about this many times, of social media being kind of at the heart of it.
Yes.
One of the benefits of religion, I think, is that at least people are getting out of the house, coming together in a community, and sharing something together, and people can meet there and that kind of thing. When people are isolated, social media, and also the pornification of the culture too, where guys don't have to try as hard to have sex anymore. They can have sex with their phone now, basically. But it's true, honestly. But when you have to work to impress a girl, or put some nice clothes on to go out, even just to a bar, you're being social. There's value to being a social animal. That's how we've lived for all these thousands of years, by being social creatures.
Yeah, I agree with you. Young boys, really the last probably 2 decades in America, we got a real problem. Masculinity is important. It's important for not just cultural reasons. It's important for your development from a boy to a man, to realize what's important.
It's also important to society overall. Kevin Samuels had this famous quote where he asked a woman who was saying that she can do anything a man can do and that we don't need men in society. And he basically asked her to name one famous female inventor, and she couldn't name a single one. And there are famous female inventors, but the point is there's not as many as men. You can easily name a lot of male inventors when asked. It's very easy, but you can't name that many females, because without the masculinity, without that male presence in the world, we wouldn't have skyscrapers or roads or anything like that. It's just the fact of the matter. So not only is it men's fault for being weaker and being out of shape and being all of those things, but it's also society's fault for trying to repress those and act like they are bad, and also act like women can just do anything that men can do, when it's just not the case. And it's detrimental to society overall. It's detrimental to men, but it's also detrimental to society overall. I don't think we've seen the effects of it quite yet to the overall society. We're seeing the effects of it within men, but if men are not allowed to be men, and we're being told that you're not actually special, women can just do everything that you do, then it's going to negatively affect society. And there's just no doubt about it. And we're probably going to see the effects of that very, very soon. We're already seeing, like they talked about, Bill Maher here talked about the loneliness epidemic. We're seeing that already. But, society is going to be negatively affected, very, very soon.
To understand that you have a responsibility to go out there and gather and work hard and earn, and you got to have that grit, that toughness to be a leader, to be a husband, to be a father, whether that's a decision you choose to make in your own personal life. But those traits are important for masculinity and for men. To take them away really hurts not just men, it hurts women as well.
But I'll say this about the one last thing. Although I don't think it's fair to put the shooter in this particular category, because that thing has shown up many times over the past. Remember, Hinckley wanted to impress Jodie Foster,
But
if you look at Lee Harvey Oswald, it's a lot of the same profile as this guy, his personal profile. People that have done these types of acts over the years.
I don't think it's all that. I think Lee Harvey Oswald was political. I mean, he was in Russia.
Well, we don't know which side, though, either. Yeah.
Well, yes. I mean, it's a little murky. I mean, he did purposely go to Russia. He married a Russian woman.
Right.
He was involved with the Communist Party.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
But this kid, I mean, all they know is that he was looking at stuff about Biden as well as Trump. I think he would have shot whoever showed up that day.
Yeah, it's like the kid who shot the people in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Or, Columbine and some of these other things, some of these profiles of kids. But yeah, it's not a big disagreement. I'm just pointing out some of these profiles there.
All right.
They make a good point. Obviously, Bill Maher got destroyed on his own show. Once again, it seems like he has a fetish of doing so. Byron Donalds did a great job of just shutting down everything that he was saying, trying to minimize the Trump assassination. And his audience also appreciated Byron Donalds' response and obviously didn't appreciate what Bill Maher was saying about the Trump assassination. That situation is very serious, and a lot of leftists are trying to minimize it. People like Whoopi Goldberg on The View, people like Destiny, the woke streamer, and people like Bill Maher are trying to minimize the attack on Donald Trump's life, the attempt on the assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life. It's scary, not just for Donald Trump and Donald Trump supporters. It's scary for the country overall, because I just hope that things like this don't get normalized. I hope that doesn't happen more often. But the direction the country is going, I mean, who knows? Let me know in the comments what you think about Bill Maher and Byron Donalds having this little back and forth here, as well as Larry Wilmore, but also Bill Maher's audience applauding, basically turning against him and applauding and his visible disgust with that. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this whole real time with Bill.
I don't understand why people were laughing and they were actually applauding the fact that a man died. It's a pretty serious situation, and why would anyone laugh at that? Like, what's so funny? It's crazy. I mean, it is insane. Why would anyone be laughing at such a critical situation? You know what happened at Trump's rally? I had to go and search for the video. It was quite bloody. It was just pretty addressing people, and the next thing we heard was gunshot is there. Even before I saw that video, I was watching the news and I saw Trump's ear was plastered. I didn't even know he was shot. So when I saw, I was like, what's going on? Why is his ear plastered? What is going on? So I was confused because I was at work and they were showing the CNN news. I was just like, what is really going on? Then I came online and I saw that, what? It's a pretty serious situation because lots of people were fired. So many casualties that day. It shows that there's a lot of corruption. And the fact that it was even a 20-year-old who pulled the trigger. A 20-year-old was the shooter. 20-year-old. Like, what is the world turning into? Where is this country going to? Insecurity. There's no security. And some bunch of people are here laughing like it is some funny joke. Nothing is funny about this whole thing. It is all messed up. Everything is so messed up right now. Even your own safety is not guaranteed. And you're there laughing, clapping, jubilating. All for what? They're there mocking God. You're mocking God. This is funny. They don't even know. They have no idea. What do you guys think about this video? What are your thoughts? Drop a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a huge thumbs up and please share this video. If you're new to the channel, join VeraCity. Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever a new video drops. And that's guys, see you in my next one. Love you. Bye guys.